Yeah, perfect. So, hi, guys, this is Chetan. I'm currently a DevRel at ICP North America. So, just to give an intro, this is perfectly fine. So, yesterday you guys must be having a Python Python session yesterday, delivered by Jordan. So, everyone is familiar with the Jordan, right? So, Jordan is he's the he's the one who has done this magic of creating ICP blockchain and leveraging Python and Python's SDKs, importing importing ICP canister, just he has done this magic that creating Python mergence with ICP blockchain. Now, also the Demergent Labs is doing the thing that those who guys like Python is the one of the languages that most of the students are familiar with. I mean, is there some background noise coming at your end as well? Like there's some ringing coming. Like I don't know
Oh,
why.
that's because people are joining.
Okay, okay, okay.
You can keep
All
going.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I was just telling that, apart from Python's SDKs, like those who guys are comfortable in Python, we very well have this Kybra book. Kybra book is one of the libraries that we can import. By importing Kybra, what actually happens is that we can easily write like canisters. So, guys, can you just give a raise of hands, like who all are familiar with canisters? Like, if you can just react. Canisters must be the concept that has been conveyed yesterday. So Steven is comfortable. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So just to give a brief to, yeah, I just got the info. Thanks. Thanks. So canisters, for the other people who have joined new. So canisters are something. So there's a concept called a smart contracts. So smart contracts are a thing in blockchain. It's just a normal. You can just consider it as a normal piece of code written on blockchain level. So what we do is that in Web2 world where we write normal code in your VS Code or something, and you have a backend for it. And apart from that, in Web3 space, we have the concept of smart contracts. If we are talking particularly at ICP blockchain level, these smart contracts are called canisters. Canisters are something you just at the highest level we can consider them as some sort of canisters can containers. So basically containers are that holds your all of your code using some wasm is, I'll just keep sharing my screen as well. Wasm is WebAssembly languages. So if you guys are not aware of that, right? Yeah, my screen is visible separately. So I'll just yeah. The thing is that ICP blockchain is uses the concept of Wasm libraries. So library is that we can easily the WebAssembly languages. So for this, I was just telling that there are two languages support. Like ICP inherently is built in Motoko language. So whenever you want to write code, when you want to write code for ICP blockchain, you just start doing it with Motoko language. But Motoko is quite a budding language, right? So like everyone can't be comfortable with a very new language, and you just have to learn lot of things. Like you just have to go with syntax and all of that stuff. So what the like ICP has given is that it has given support that you can write canister smart contracts in Python language or in ICP like TypeScript. JavaScript, most of the people are always comfortable in their web development journey. They must have been familiar with JavaScript. But everyone has also everyone like some of the developers are also comfortable in TypeScript. So TypeScript is that like it is a package like built upon JavaScript. And one of the libraries that like sort of libraries we can import here and actually code in TypeScript as well to write smart contracts for ICP blockchain. The package called here is Hazelbook. So Hazelbook is a like it has just given the features here that we can easily write code for ICP blockchain in TypeScript using just a single package called an Hazelbook. So this is like this. I just wanted to give the background noise, like background check for what exactly are we going to do. Apart from that, we can very well start with what is exactly the syntax of Hazelbook, how should we go. Meanwhile, if I guess most of them must have joined by now, so I'll just share this Hazelbook's contact, the URL here in the Zoom chat. You can just like open your this URL side windows, and you can just keep scrolling, and then we'll be having the coding part as well. So is everyone up till here? Like everyone on the same page? What is the context of today's session? We are going to start with the Hazelbook now. Perfect. So I'll just give an overview. Like you can just go that is it like whatever the things that you need to have reference about. So this is the Hazelbook. Like this is the first chapter that is going to be covered here. Like so, what we will do is there are like if you are very much comfortable with around 13 to 14 chapters of this like session, you are very well, you can just start writing smart contract canisters in your first like on your very first day if you're very much comfortable with it, like JavaScript, TypeScript, and these 20 chapters, like totally 20 chapters, preferably these first 11 ones, you can very well start writing smart contract. Like you just don't have to scratch your heads with Motoko language. So yeah, we can just start. So first of all, just to give a context that Hazel is still in the development stage. It is just a TypeScript and JavaScript CDK. So CDK is just that you are just importing some JavaScript libraries and just leveraging them to write on certain blockchain at a very high level. So it is just in the beta stage. There are a lot of developments that still needs to be done in the Hazelbook. But yeah, you can, if you want to write very normal applications, you can just start writing and then advance them with our developer support. You always have Discord channel here. So Discord channel, I'll just like for all the, because actually the thing is that after when you will be actually be developing the stuff and building smart contracts, you will be needing to have some sort of like hand holding. No, I will not say hand holding, but yeah, actually there are a lot of bugs out there like which can be resolved if you guys have some mentors or something. So if you anytime have this queries, or you're even if you're building afterwards this session, you can just join this Discord and ping me here. Yeah. So perfect. So roadmap is just that it has been just released in the 2023, and then yeah, this is all of the stuff. You can just go through them. I won't be exaggerating here. So Hazel is being built by Demergent Labs. So Jordan yesterday who took the session for Python. So Python, like those who are comfortable with Python, there is a concept of Kybra book. They can be easily starting their like smart contract canisters in Kybra book. And those who want to go for JavaScript packages, they can go for Hazelbook. So do you want me guys to tell you a brief about benefits and drawbacks or something about Hazelbook, or shall we go into the ICP overview next and canisters overview? Like if you want, we can go for this benefits, drawbacks, and stuff as well. Can you just give me a raise of hands or something in the chat box? Anyone? Do we need to go through this? Like, I definitely can summarize. Yeah,
I think a quick summary would be useful.
yeah, perfect. So I'll just, yeah. So, but the thing is that it's all still it is in the budding stage, but definitely you can build your smart contracts. There are a lot of benefits that is coming right now. So first of all, in blockchain, when we talk about blockchain, the thing is that The first of like the ICP isn't a full stack like it. The first definitely the first benefit that it there's some background noise coming. Bernard, can you please just thanks a lot. So there's there are two like 5 to 6 benefits definitely that IC canisters the Definity Foundation that has provided us, that there's the concept of full stack group ownership, which is done by the method of DAOs. DAOs are something that you are just working in an organization, but that organization is based upon blockchain level, where every code is being discussed, where every single decision is taken by a group rather than a single entity. So what exactly is the main focus of blockchain level? Then you have autonomous ownership that like in normal other blockchains, you go for just normal voting mechanism. But here the thing is, there's a concept of balance of cycles, which I'll be coming later in the further chapters. Cycles is that the more the number of cycles you have in your Canister smart contract, like in your internet identities, the more you can have voting right in your particular blockchain. So these are called NNS votes. You just have normal votes in your web, like normal life. We have our voting rights in blockchain. In ICP blockchain, preferably, we have the concept of NNS votes. We just use them to vote upon certain decision. So internet, like if you guys must have already created your internet identities. If you guys have not, I'll just show you. NNS is like the wallet. Not I would not like the inherent ICP thing that like everyone needs to do if they want to start their development journey. So this is my internet identity. If you want to create your internet identity, you can just go for you can just search in your chat box about NNS ICP. So after NNS is basically network nervous system, like network nervous. This all I don't know the full form or yeah. So like you can just create your internet identity. It is just as creating your social media account or some like creating a new account, signing up for that particular homepage. It is just that if you want to enter into ICP world, you just have to create this internet identity, and if with just one single click, you are just able to like log in into your identities and you can start operating, writing codes. So if you want, you can just create your internet identities meanwhile. Yeah. So you will be seeing this panel here that I was just telling you about the voting mechanisms. So voting mechanism is this, like there are certain decisions that are going on right now. These are the open ones. So if you want to vote upon them, you just need to have their internet identity cycles like ICP tokens, and then you can just easily vote upon any of the decisions. Actually, this voting rights really matters a lot when like you are working in some like DAO kind of structure. So I would like suggest going through them. Yeah. Apart from that, like we can just move on. Permanent APIs, like everyone is a developer here. You just know that why APIs are like we are leveraging ICP's API so that we can import it into ICE like Hazelbook, and then like we can just very well write at the code at very high level. Yeah, so platform risk definitely if the some like just the core concept of ICP has always been that we want to just eradicate the middleware parties. Middleware parties is something called as AWS, or you just deploy your applications, you just build and run your applications on AWS, GCP, the Google Cloud Program, and any of that stuff. What ICP has done is that it has just specifically removed all of these backend things, and you have your backend and front end just stored in just one canister ID, and with that one canister ID, you can just easily operate for all of the stuff. Like you can just write your one canister ID and you can operate through. I'll just like afterwards in the coding section, you will get to know that what exactly we're talking about. That with one single code of chain, you need not write this front end back end specifically for blockchains. You need to deploy on AWS. Like AWS layer has been eradicated. Whole control is in your hand. You will get to know how exactly backend is also getting controlled by you. No one can fucking change like if a single decision is being taken by some organization, your code can't be changed like like on in a single night or something. whole, like I guess you are able to, I'm able to convey my point that front end, back end, all of the database things that are totally controlled by you. So this was the core concept of ICP blockchain. Yeah, uh, preferably if you want to go through like a more detailed manner, there are a lot of other advantages as well. You can just scroll through them. You have already the link of Hazelbook. And there are drawbacks. The drawbacks are not that high. The only thing is that we are still in the development stage. We are just seeing like this power coming upon in this TypeScript language that we are using Hazelbook, and like it is still in the front like developing stage. So there might be some latency issues, like like that is also going to be within just 2 to 3 years of development, because it is still being like developed on a daily basis. You can just get in touch with the founders. You can get to know like they're working on a daily basis on this to make this developer friendly. Yeah. And like apart from that, there are other risks that it has just compute. Like right now I will just be sharing you that a lot of like for every single transaction there are called as wasm instructions, wasm WebAssembly instructions. There is a limited number of WebAssembly instructions that we can do right now on Hazelbook. So that is still the issue, but since it after the time it is like completely developed, that is also going to be resolved. The only issue is that. So I guess you guys must be aware with the concepts of like the benefits and drawbacks that ICP Hazelbook is having right now. So we can preferably go to the internet computer. So I would not waste more time on just explaining internet computer, and like I guess there has been two sessions, one by Sagar and Jordan, and you must have like you guys must be having some overview of what exactly internet computer is. So just to give a brief about that, internet computer is a decentralized cloud platform that reliant you are not reliant on some external persons like your external backend application. You are just like dependent upon like you have the control of your application totally in your hand. So that is the internet computer, just to summarize in one line, that having control from like just with just one internet identity, you can have front end and back end totally in your hand. So this is just in opposition to the most traditional cloud platforms today, which are generally owned by some legal entity. So that is the thing, like example being AWS and GCPs. So IC is composed of computer hardware nodes running the ICP protocol software. So ICP protocol is something that is being built by Definity. Definity is the one that has been maintaining this ICP blockchain. It like Definity has like you can just see the power that is going on right now in the Definity labs. So this is the thing. So I like the thing is that when you are deploying your applications or something, you would be amazed to know that like the server costing that ICP just like ICP notes that like we need to pay is that 5 GB per $5 per GB per year. Yeah, you can just like think that how cheap this transactions has been because of the because of the nodes coming into blockchain space. Like nodes are something. Uh, since you guys are already familiar with the concept of nodes are just basically like in mini computers working at their own regions, and like we are not dependent upon some like data storage facilities or something that are provided by AWS and GCPs. Nodes are that have like all blockchain transactions are getting stored into this node runners. So nodes, I need not spend more time on nodes. It is just the concept. It is like a minimal concept in the blockchain space. If you want to get information about nodes, you always have Learn Web3 DAO. So Learn Web3 DAO is a space where like you have like if someone wants to just explore what exactly blockchain is like or something, I would suggest going through this developer degrees. So the freshman track, you can just very well have what exactly is blockchain or something. Yeah, so I won't be spending more time on nodes. I would like I'm like really excited to go into the code part of this today's session. So like nodes are further divided into subnets, and subnets, every subnet has 13 to 40 nodes working under them. So yeah, we can go to the canisters. So we are finally on that section where we are going to start with the code part. So canisters, yeah. So if you guys are already into development stage of your like building applications or deploying your application, You must be knowing the concept of containers. Containers are the things that store your like totally everything is getting stored like right now in web 2 world as well. If you're writing some code, you need to have the information of containers. Like containers are the thing that store your code. Similarly, in web 3 world, these containers are called canisters. If we are talking about ICP blockchain, so in canisters, you just store your front end and back end code specifically, and you just bundle the whole code together and you parcel it. Parcel it basically like bundle using WebAssembly languages and WASM, and then you can just bundle these languages, bundle your whole of your code, and go send it into your canister. So canisters are just a container. Not to, I would not say it is very high kind of concept. It is just you can just think it of as a container where all of your code is getting stored. So yeah, canisters like apart from that state, like you just have the heap memory. Like there's a called the concept of stable memory. You need not scratch your heads right now. So yeah, like we can like all of the concept will be very much like familiar with you once we are done with the first very first applications in TypeScript. So you need to have this like for all the Mac users and specifically for Ubuntu and other Windows user. So you just need to run like I guess we can prefer like I have just given an introduction to canisters ICP in very detail like brief. So can we go for this codes? Like can we start with the code section now? If someone has any queries before going into the code section, can you just type in the chat box? Yes, we can go for the chat. Left other peeps, like there are 20 folks right now. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can just turn on your terminals. So terminal at your terminal, what we can do is for Mac users, it's very easy. For other Ubuntu and WSL users, you just have to run these commands and install all of your compilers and dependencies. You just need to check your node versions. And then finally, the important thing is that DFX. Do you know the concept of DFX, guys? Like you must be aware, right? If you are done with Kybra book, can someone give me a brief about DFX? If any of the attendee has been joining all of the sessions yesterday and the Sagar and such, you must be aware about DFX, right? Someone here wants to explain DFX. Like I can definitely do it. Like if someone can do it in chat box, like so that I can get a background like where exactly we are in on. Guys, am I audible? I'm audible, right?
Yes, I can give it a
Yeah. So like,
try.
yeah. So like, I don't know who is. Am I? Steven, can you just like Steven? You were the one.
Sorry?
Yeah. So like, you must be aware about the like you were in the previous sessions as well.
Yeah, I was in the previous session. I'm
So
still
you
kind of
like,
learning, so
yeah,
I have like a guess and general idea what DFX might be.
yeah. Please, like, go ahead.
So I think DFX is like a command line, I think tool or interface from Dfinity, and it's like used to create canisters. And then
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So yeah. So thanks, Steven. Perfectly said that DFX is just that you. DFX is the another dependency. It is just the environment. Yeah, so DFX is just the environment that you need to have for writing your code. Basically, like usually we do concept of nodes. Like if you're doing we need to check node, right? So to write the backend. Specifically, if we are writing backends for our like application smart contract canisters, we need to have DFX version. So like I have this DFX 0.1.15.1. So preferably after you also try to use, guys, the ones that are stable. The stable ones are right now above 0.14 version. So you, like, if you are on that version, you can go for DFX upgrade. If you are okay, yeah. So meanwhile, like you guys can also go for this DFX and check your latest GFX version if you are also on the ones. And apart from that, like if someone is first time interacting with this DFX thing, you just you just need to run this command in your terminal. And then you can check for the DFX versions. So like, okay, there's some timeout request. I don't know why. But yeah, I usually like 0.15 as per my information is the latest one. Like, yeah. So these are just the DF, like all of the dependencies you need to have before going into the next part. Shall we continue? Like if everyone is on the same page, everyone has their node, the DFX installed and stuff. Yeah, perfect. So finally, our Hello World program is here. So I would not waste a lot of time on this Hello World thing, but yeah, like actually, it just like if you guys will spend like a bit of 5 to 10 minutes extra on this Hello World, like the project structure is the only difficult thing that you guys need to manage in this easel book. Apart from that, the code part is very much easy here. You can, like, I would spend like I would stress out here more on the Hello World application today. So like preferably, like if you guys can just follow all of the commands together, that help, like, and like for just writing out our very first smart contract connector in our Hello World program. So let's just, like, there are two methods usually. I would go like with both of them. So like it is just the highlight. First method is just the highlight to get you started, and then we will be going in the details what exactly each folder structure is doing. So yeah, we can start with this Hello World program. Yeah. So npx, like we can just start with the commands. I guess everyone is on the same page by now. Yeah, you can just like the command that you need to go for right now is like you can just keep following me, like whatever the thing I will be just keep pasting all of the commands here so that you can just so this I will just give the two methods that are going the preferably there are two methods. CD is hello world. Okay, you can just have all of your dependencies installed. Perfect. So I guess we are very much fine right now. And then like finally enter our VS codes. See guys, like just it's not like isn't it amazing that we already have all of the structure here? But the thing is that building this structure itself, like the second method that we will be following is that we will be building this structure ourselves rather than all of it getting built, so that we can at least get information what exactly each file is doing. So you just need to go in this terminals of your VS code, yeah, and then you need to go for DFX start. So just to start getting your environment set up, always in DFX, there's a concept of DFX. We need to just start the DFX before deploying something on it. It is just the turning on your computer. Like, I'm sounding a bit gimmick here, but yeah, it's. I know it's a bit of difficult. Like, just we need to do it. Yeah, you just need to start a DFX before deploying your applications. Your Hello World program is totally written. We can just wait. Like, I'll be going through all of the stuff, but exactly is written in each of the files. Index.did, index.ts. These are the two files that are primarily of our concern. Yeah. So dashboard is running right now. So if you guys are on the same page, you must be having this. Need not worry what exactly is this. It is just a dashboard that is running right now. You are seeing the backend. Actually, you can see the backend, what exactly is happening. So need not worry what exactly is this. So let me go for the next thing. Yeah. So first of all, we have started this our DFX. DFX is basically Definity's background. Yeah. So then you go for the DFX deployment in some another terminal. You can't quit this terminal. So it is very specifically written that you need to start in one terminal, and in another terminal you need to deploy a canister. So yeah, we are deploying it. It is executing some backend thing, building canisters. So building canister is basically it is bundling this whole code into like JavaScript first, and then into Moto. It is executing the ICP blockchain layer, and then finally the canister is getting built. So I don't know, it is taking a bit of time. When you do it, like you guys can also follow. My canisters are being created. Okay, it is taking a lot of time. Yeah. So my canister, like I don't know why the terminal is not showing me this, but yeah, my canisters have already been built. So after that, like I'm just guys just come be with me for like bear me for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll be explaining you what exactly each file is doing here. So what I did was, like, after deploying our my canister, I just called some of the methods. There are two methods here. Wait, yeah. So what I did was I wrote the command here dfx. Dfx basically you need to do for every command, and then calling your canister. Canister, what exactly your canister is? Your smart contract. Then you're calling it the function, the Hazel Hello World program index.ts. Like, this is the Hazel Hello World program that, yeah, you must be having this. Finally, this is our canister candid UI. Yeah, I'll be coming to this. So yeah, after going for this is our backend, guys. In your terminals, if you're following me along, so you must be having this interface. There's a URL getting generated. This is the normal, like, the website URLs that you have. This is the local host URL that you guys will be having on a terminal printed. So you can very well see this is the backend. Like, I was just stressing on the thing that you guys have the control of our backend. So this is the thing, like, there are two functions here, set message and get message. I'll be explaining both of the functions in detail. So get message, like, wait. So what I did was I wrote this command called, I just want to set message that I want to interact with the world with the hello world application, like just hi, like hi world, I am finally here something. I just called upon this function as a set the message to hello world, and then I called it. I'll be call. You can see my terminal here. Like, I just called it, and I'll be printing it. I don't know if it has done it. Okay. Yeah. So I can like I'll be showing you. So you can just do it for that Chetan. I have called it. I'll be calling this. It is waiting. Yeah. So message has been set to Chetan. So when I'll be executing this, I have just updated this, and then yeah, perfect. So in message, it was first blank, and when I just wrote "Hi world," yeah, I can then I'll be calling it to display. Yeah, anything like it is just that you like you can very well write front end for this thing. Like let's just wait for that. Like right now we are focusing on the back end here. So yeah. So apart like you just got the feel, guys. Like what exactly is the backend? Like the canisters getting deployed here. So this is the backend canister. So candid, like you guys must be seeing the what exactly is candid here? Like it is like you. I'll just go through this as well. So candid is like the backend language that ICP. Like apart from that, ICP, TypeScript, and the Hazel book are combined using the power of Candid. Candid is basically which has written all of like which is giving you a GUI. GUI, you are basically the graphical user interface. It is giving you that to showcase your backend, not in the backend form that AWS and GCP show you. It is just the library that you can just get to see what exactly is happening. It is just the Candid just gives you a GUI for your backend application. So what exactly you can see over your whole of your window is totally written in Candid. You need not worry. You just consider like how exactly it is getting implemented. Need not go into details how exactly Candid is written or what is the syntax for that. It is none of your concern. You just need to go for like if you want to build applications using TypeScript, you can go for Hazelbook. Yeah, this one. So let's just like I was just telling you, there are two methods. Like first of all, like you just quick for going very much hands-on, you just need to have this quick start guide. But now I would like very much focus upon specifically like how exactly each file is operating. So let's just start again the whole process of deploying our Hello World application. I would want to remove I just want to delete all of this code here. Wait, this is just scratching my head. I just want to delete and I want to do it from scratch so that you guys are on the same page. Yeah. So try following all the commands with me. So we have created our folder. Then specifically like let's just go into our VS Code, right? This terminal, I just hate my terminal. I don't know why the color right now it is in light mode. I am like I don't like light. Let's go into VS Code itself. Yeah. So you guys can just keep following me along with. So there are like the SRC folder has been created. Now you need to make some files. I'll be explaining what exactly each file is doing. So you just need to create an index.ts file. TS, everyone knows that TS is extension for your like you whenever you are entering your normal application, the JavaScript application, the program enters using index.js, and in TypeScript, the program enters using index.ts. So we created first file index.ts. You guys can see that it has already been created inside. Then you go for this the dependencies for like I'll be telling you all of the dependencies exactly. So we do this tsconfig.json. And then we go for the JSON library for the DFX. So the 3 files are created. Totally, these are totally empty. I'll be telling you what exactly like the code that should be going on. And so yeah. So now we need to install our dependencies, all the node, all the Azle packages. So let's just do it. Yeah. Everyone is following, right? I'm not the single one who's doing this. If someone can give me a hands up or something. Is who guys
I
are
have
following?
fallen a little behind, but you can keep going. I'll catch up.
No worries, no worries. Like, which exactly is the step you are facing difficulty? Okay.
I am because I was working on it with DFX earlier, and I can't seem to like stop the processes right now.
Yeah, so you can kill your terminals. I just got to like I just forgot to share that you need to kill your terminals. Like if you want, you just delete your terminals and then like actually you can just delete the folder, right? Preferably.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give that a shot. Thank you.
yeah. So now just go. Let's just like all of the since all of our dependencies are installed. So let's just go for the TS file. Like the code that will be going in. Need not worry. I'll be definitely be explaining each single line. I just want that first we have a piece of our code here. Perfect, right? I'll be right. So let me just go for this. Like finally, our like the code that we were doing in our previous packages, like it is already done. I just want to explain what exactly each line of code means. So first of all, we there are 3 to 4 syntax things that we need to definitely import. So there's the concept of like we need to first import canisters, queries, text, update, void. This line just means that we need to like importing all of the stuff from the Azle module so that we can very easily use these APIs in our computer. And then we have just created a normal variable that is extracting some memory from our heap. And then the normal function has started that normal syntax, the JS syntax has started that we are exporting it as a component. We are just making a container here. Container is basically the canister. So canister has been created. And then, yeah, like we have just created a normal like it but what exactly this whole package shows that when this component is getting created, when we will be deploying it, what exactly it will do is that it will be bundling the using its wasm instructions. Wasm instructions are like the WebAssembly instructions. It will bundle it as a container and then send it to further like build the application when we deploy it. So yeah. So this what like let's just do like there are 2 functions here, right? We were building upon 2 functions. One was the get message and one was the set message. So get messages like get messages when we just want to display what exactly the updation that we did. So it can normally be done. It need not go through consensus. Query calls like there are like you can just I'll highlight both of them. You can see like there's something called as query method and the other method is called here update. So update method is when like you just want to set something to a new layer, and then there's called a query. Query is basically just like what exactly we just updated. We need the output for that. So yeah, there are 2 methods here. Like I'll be explaining each of the method. There's a total like each chapter on both of the method, one of the query method and update methods. So I'll like you're getting the feel right that I don't want like in the update method, but what we were doing was that we were setting some new instructions here. So we need so this will be taking a bit of time as well. when we want to update something. So this method is usually going through consensus that everyone, all the nodes just check that something new is getting updated in our servers. So we need to go through consensus that if it is safe or not. And then finally, like when we call, we just set this message. We were calling, right? We were calling this method called dfx canister call asl hello world set message. This command was done for this function. We wanted to use this function. We were calling this function. We just wanted to update something. And then there, like when we were doing this command, when we were trying to get our message, what exactly was being done in our terminal. So for this method, for the get message, we have this function get message. So I guess everyone is on the same page by now. So then there are some other dependencies that you can just copy paste here and then put in your specific files. Like it has already been given in the book that tsconfig.json. So you can copy paste here. You need to like, this is the only thing that you need to guys do it manually. Manually doing is actually much better than, so that you can have a complete understanding rather than just going for normal project. If you're very well versed with what exactly folder structures are, so then it becomes much easier to develop, right? So I guess all of our like all of the files are done. Like what exactly dfx.json is, index.ts is. I guess everyone must be now aware what was each file doing in the previous method that we did. So yeah, let's just start our dfx again. The issue, I guess, Steven, like can you just follow up me? Like, give me a follow up, like if you are able to do now.
I'm still unable to start the DFX.
Okay, so but like if you like you did ran the dfx in the previous time when I just told you that dfx start.
Yeah, I have ran it before, but now I'm running DFX start and it's saying
dfx must be already running, right?
actually now it's
Can you
saying
go for
to get front end address.
so okay, so can you do a thing? You can just go for this command called dfx stop.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do have DFX stop.
Yeah, kindly do.
And that works fine. There's
Yeah.
no local replica found, nothing to do. And then the DFX start is not working. I'm thinking there might be something like maybe one of the ports that it's trying to use is already taken. So I'm trying to figure out if I have any processes.
Do you want to share your screen? What exactly is the error you are having?
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have the permission. Like, can you?
I don't have
You must be
permission right now
having.
to share screen if
Wait a second.
You should be good to go, Steven.
thanks, Amir. Screen 3. So this is my terminal right now, and I'm trying to go DFX start.
Wait. Okay. So can you go in your VS Code
Yes.
and go in your terminal here? Yeah. So can you just wait? I'm sending you a command here. Can you do a dfx stop in the Zoom chat I have sent you?
Okay.
Okay. So can you start the dfx here? So can you like also in the back dfx start background? Yeah. Can you do this command? I don't know why exactly is this happening. Like using a default, returning the DFX version, front end address. Okay. I guess there's some port issue here going on. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think
Like
so as well. No worries. I can just try to debug this. I have followed along with like the algorithm before
yeah.
with like a boilerplate
Okay.
on some code space, but this is my first time trying this locally.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just try to debug this issue. Thank you for the help.
All right. All right. No worries. No worries. Yeah, I'll share my screen again. So yeah, we can just revive from the same phase that, yeah, where were we exactly? Yeah, so you have your folder structure, guys. So also, Steven, you can go for this command, dfx start clean. Preferably, it will be cleaning all of your previous. So this is also a command that you can try.
Okay, well,
dfx
I'll try
start,
that.
and then, yeah. So we were on hello world, guys. So like we have completed our hello world program now. So like at the end, after like deploying this, what exactly you are getting here is that you are getting some canister IDs here in your terminal. So you can very well see like when we try to deploy here. So this DFX is like the dashboard is already running, right? And then what we do is DFX deploy. So when we are deploying it, it is creating some canister, it is bundling it, the same process that we did it in the previous time. So we have our Azure structure. It has been created automatically. The DFX definitely we have. The node modules we have. It is like these are the things that are getting built by it themselves. We are not doing it. So then there is index.did file. So you can see that I have just created the file called index.ts. So only the whole folder structure is dependent upon this file. So yeah, you have got the backend canister ID here, something that has been shown in the Azure book. Yeah. So finally, we're done with the hello world, right? So I would like, so we are already done with 7 chapters of this Azure book. So the thing is that like the DFX commands that there are a number of list of DFX commands that you guys can follow on the daily basis. So if you want, like this is the developer docs for if you want to go for the complete details. Yeah, wait. Like I just wanted to complete this session. Like I'll be taking 5 more minutes. So sorry. So because I just want to complete this query methods and update methods. So query method is something like there were two methods that we use in our code. One was the query method and one was the update method. So query method is basically it is just a read-only function. So there will be no consensus. Like we are just calling it to display the text that we just wanted to execute. This is the query, and then like yeah, so it has 5 billion instruction limits, not of your concern. It is executed on a single node because it doesn't need any consensus. So yeah, and then like if you want to go into details, like this was just a normal interaction, but if you want to include some database as well here, so there's the this is the syntax. This is a TypeScript syntax. If you someone is familiar with TypeScript, it is just that like something familiar with the JSON usually have this syntax key value pairs. Let's just not deep dive into it. And then the another like this is another example where a new asterisk It is giving an asterisk limit. It is also something similar with like if you guys are familiar with TypeScript, I was just considering that you guys must be familiar with bit of TypeScript syntax, and then you are calling it to this port number and this message address with an argument of 1001. So you guys must be knowing, right? If it is a long number in TypeScript and how exactly it is done, it is done using 123 and then underscore here. So this is done usually for a big int numbers in TypeScript. Then there is update methods. Query method, update method is when you want to set something on a new basis. So it will be going through consensus and it will be executed on many nodes. So like since we want to update something from very scratch, so we use this method, update method. So yeah, and this there are 3 to 4 examples. Like if you want to include some database as well, so this is the key value pair thing, and then the get and set methods, and then other examples. So like I have like these are the 10 chapters you guys like. This was a very basic structure. Like there were 2 methods. Like there are a lot of methods that query method, update method. These are the methods that you guys need to use for writing our canister smart contracts. So I guess like further on we can, whenever we are having our next session, when if you have joined our Discord and you are still building along with us, you will be getting this, like if you're actually developing, and then we can easily continue with our further sessions as well. So if you want, we are having some developer office hours this Saturday, and if you're actually building along with us, so you can join it, and then we can very well consider like when we can further go on with your project as well. So yeah, finally this candid thing is here. So candid is the backend library that I was telling you. I guess it has already been an hour for the session, so I would not take much of your time. So if you guys have any doubts, you can just post it in the chat section. Yeah, I am here itself. Like if someone has any queries or something, you can post it here. Like it was a very basic session. I just wanted to give you a brief about what exactly Hazelbook is. So if someone has any queries or something, you can post in your chat box. Who all are actually building upon their projects in this hackathon, in this workshops going on? Is someone building exactly on ICP blockchain? So I have some coupon codes to redeem. Like if you want some extra cycles, yeah. So everyone is building, right? So who like I have a list of, like if you have your cycles, so you need your cycles to deploy your applications on ICP main network, right? So when like the thing is that you get certain limit on, like once your cycles are finished, like you can just let me know. I have extra cycles for those who are actually building some complete full stack like full front end and back end applications. So you can just ping me on Discord. I have already shared with you the Discord link, and I can give you the extra coupons for redeeming cycles in your wallet. So if you want, like if everyone's like 10, I have 10 extra coupons, so that if someone needs, yeah, you can just ping me on Discord. So yeah, guys, thanks for joining. So if someone still has any queries, you can just turn like unmute yourself and we can have interaction.
Yeah. I do have a question. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
John.
was I was trying out I guess in like an example somewhere.
Okay.
It where we had to use like principal for like I don't know, user ID or something.
Yeah.
And then it generated the principal and like recommended us to use like this function, which I'm going to paste into the chat. And it was like I noticed it, or wait, sorry, I'm going too ahead. So then this function, it prints like a decently long principal, but I noticed when I did an experiment to just try out what IC caller would do, and I made a simple
Yeah,
query function and
I'll
did IC caller, it was like a lot shorter.
yeah. So what exactly principle is that when you want to actually I'll give a brief about it. What exactly principal function is. So if you are actually like you're building on Hazelbook itself or on Python library.
Hazelbook.
Okay. So if you are actually like the principle is you use this command usually when you want to interact with your wait NNS internet identities. So there's a public private key pair. So for this principle, like when you are using these commands to call it, so the function here is ic.caller. If you have used it, fine. ic.caller. Okay, I have given it, like if you want to give it an error check in your like I have just given you, it is the syntax. You need to just paste it this caller before using this whole principal section. You need to call this method. Yeah, so like if still not like preferably like if any error is like if there's some error that I'm not able to resolve or something, you can just ping me on Discord. That would also be fine. And yeah,
Okay, sounds good. Is there also anywhere that I can like read up on like the do's and don'ts and like what you can and can't do with IC color? Because I
yeah,
know I was
definitely. Like
trying. Oh, sorry.
wait. So there's some like if you want some video reference or something, have you gone through this 6 chapters here? Like these are the video tutorials also. Like if you all of the 20 chapters here and all of the details of 20 chapters, like it has been covered by our Demergent Labs, the founder of Hazelbook. He has covered this in 6 chapters here. So the principal caller ID that you are telling, it is I guess in the third chapter itself. So if you want to go either at the end of the second chapter, the references you are asking for, or in the third chapter starting. So you can very well go for this IC.caller thing. So IC.caller is very well explained by Jordan. So Jordan is this. Yesterday he was in the session.
Yeah, sounds good.
I
Yeah,
can share the playlist here.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then I do have a second question if I'm not taking up anyone else's, or if anyone else has another question, I can like ask it last.
Yeah, you can
or...
go for. Yeah, you can go
Okay.
for.
Yeah. Then I did have another question.
Okay.
So I'm guessing I'm just gonna ask if it's possible and if it is, if it would be like recommended to do or not, or if it's like a best practice. But let's say like you made like a function, like an update or a query inside a canister, like
Yeah.
two, and then from one of the functions you wanted to call the other one. And they're like in the same
Yeah.
canister.
Yeah, it can be. It should be like. So this is the concept of multi-canister smart contracts. So if you like, it can be very well done, but it needs to be followed with some like usually when you write some cross canister. So this is the concept of cross canisters. So when you try to do this, like you are trying to call some other functions through your query method or something. So the thing is, there's some like leakage of. So this practice is not prevalent here, that calling some update method. So query methods are very well called, like you can just easily call them. But when you are trying to call update methods, these need to be done very well only when you are actually like all of this. There's some sort of functionality written in the cross canister calls. So this is the chapter I would prefer, like the examples are given how exactly it's a practice to call upon. So the cross canister calls need to be done. Like query methods can be very well done, but update methods, if you're trying to update something, that needs to be done with some certain conventions. So be careful while using that. So here are examples here. So these are the 2 examples. For the cross canister one, the 2 examples. If you want, you are actually checking. I have shared it. you can actually see the concept of how exactly you can call from one function to another function. And then these are the two examples that are already given, that like I also used to have this problem if I want to call some another function from this my one. Like these two examples can very well solve your doubts.
Oh, okay. So even if these two functions are technically in the same canister, I'd still have to do the cross canister call.
No, actually, like if it is in the same canister also, like it usually operates in the method that we are treating it as a bundle of, like we are trying to divide the container into two functions. Like I don't know how exactly I'm conveying it, but cross canister call in a single canister as well. Like the two functions are getting created, you need to follow some sort of, like these examples can actually clear a doubt how exactly this cross canister call function, like two functions are calling each other. So
Okay.
preferably you can, yeah. If you still face any doubts or something, you can post me. Like I can give you the reference here. Like I have very well understood what exactly you're trying to do. The serializable concept, like you can just try following these two. Yeah,
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
not an issue. Any other folks who are having any doubts?
Not a question, but I just want to like share kind of the solution that I found for my issue in case anyone runs into it. So
Yeah.
because I'm on a local shared network, it defaults to like a specific port. But if you just use the host flag here, I'll share an image in the chat if possible. This is from the Internet Computer References.
Yeah.
If you just use the host to change your port, then you can run that without.
Yeah. So basically, this was not an IC thing. You can just change your port address. Like this was a port address issue. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks. Even if someone has the same issue or running in their Windows, like they can just use this method. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Any other folks who are having any doubts? Or you can just ping me on Discord if someone needs any extra coupons, extra cycles to build and deploy their applications. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your time, Chetan.
Not an issue. Thanks, Emir. Thanks for holding back. So guys, if someone like, can we just click a picture or something, since the session is, I just like, we'll just post it on our socials or something. If someone can turn on their like if you can turn your camera for a single second, I know you guys are developing. So if you can turn on your cameras for a second, if you guys are comfortable, otherwise we can just, if any one of you, anyone?
The profile picture isn't good enough.
Yeah, Steven, yours is fine. Like if someone can. Joanne was the interactive one here. Ray was also interacting in between.
Yeah, I could probably turn my camera on. I just gotta, I don't know, my hair is messy. I'll just come back in a second.
Not an issue. We are just doing it for a, like, we just want to post it on our socials, that how exactly, like it is just like Python session was yesterday, right? I don't like Jordan did it or not.
Yeah,
Steven just ping me,
okay.
like, yeah, hi, yeah. If someone is still doing it, yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so I'll just click a screenshot. Okay, Ray is also here. Wait a second. Perfect. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. If you guys must be on Discord. ICP North America's Discord.
Yep, I should be in there.
Yeah, you can just ping me there, and if you have any doubts or something. Perfect. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.